My name is Dr. Bethlehem Hailudejene. I'm the Senior Vice President of Assessments here at Charisma University, and I'm very happy to welcome all of you. Here with me are Dr. Brock and Dr. Sloan, who would be introducing themselves. Dr. Sloan, who is the President of Charisma University, please, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, William Sloan, President of Charisma University, and we're so happy that you're here with us today.
Dr. Brock.
Hello, I am Dr. Brock. I am the Chief Academic Officer and Provost, and I am in charge over education.
Thank you both. Dr. Sloan, I'll be directing the following questions towards you. If you could tell us a little bit about the origin story of Charisma University in brief words, please.
Surely, Charisma University was founded in 2011 as a private nonprofit university. It's incorporated in the Turks and Caicos Islands, which is a British overseas territory. If you know where it is, it's in the Caribbean, just south of the Bahamas.
Can you tell us about the mission statement of Charisma University?
Sure. We were established to provide a university education that is accessible and affordable to people all over the world, men and women who otherwise might not have had a chance to realize their dreams.
And what is the accreditation status of Charisma University?
Okay, that's very important. Charisma University is licensed by the Ministry of Education of the Turks and Caicos Islands and has institutional accreditation from a European accrediting agency called the Accreditation, Certification, and Quality Assurance Institute, or ACQUIN for short, which is headquartered in Germany and has international recognition. In addition, our School of Business has American accreditation from the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, ACBSP, which is recognized by both CHIA and the U.S. Department of Education. Charisma University is a member of the American Council on Education and is listed on the International Association of Universities World Higher Education database under USA.
So this means any prospective student coming into Charisma University will be guaranteed to get an American-style education. Is this what the accreditation means?
Yes, the accreditation means that the institution itself has been gone over very thoroughly by ACQUIN of the School of Business, by ACBSP, and the university does operate on an American style of education in terms of credit hours and so forth. So those who are familiar with the U.S. universities will feel quite at home.
Could you tell us some of about the programs that you have at Charisma University?
Yes, Charisma University offers a number of associates, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs in business, education, health sciences, law, philosophy and religion, and psychology and behavioral science. All of our programs may be completed entirely online without the necessity of any on-campus residency. Our library and writing center are also totally online.
So it's a pretty self-contained program where I could be anywhere in any part of the globe and still be able to take full classes and still get a library assistantship and also the resources that I would need. So that means I do not need any other resources or tools outside what Charisma University could provide for me?
That's correct. As long as you have access to a computer and a basic knowledge of English, which all the programs are conducted in English, then you're ready to go.
Okay, thank you. So thus far, we've learned that Charisma University is located not physically in the United States, but in the Turks and Caicos, but it provides American-style education to students from all walks of life and from every part of the globe in a variety of programs. And we have a writing center and a library also online to support all learning. And can you now, maybe I'll direct the next set of questions to Dr. Brock, and maybe you could tell us some more about charisma. Why does charisma exist? I have been in college. I've been checking out other colleges. So what makes Charisma University different?
Well, as it says in our mission statement, our goal is to provide quality education to everyone. We want to be able to give education to those who may have a harder time getting to a university and traveling, or to those who may have a harder time with family and school because they're so busy. And we understand that students have complex lives. We understand that sometimes people are working 2 jobs and have a family, and they want to have an education at the same time. So we are building an education that helps meet them where they are at, to help try to fit it into their needs. Instead of trying to make students squeeze into what we want, we're trying to help them squeeze education into their lives, especially for those who want to get a better life and need an education to help get that next step where they want to be in their goals.
Can you describe what an average charisma student looks like?
Oh, well, we really don't have an average charisma student. We have everyone between 18 years to 60 years and even above. We have all walks of life. We have people from around the world. We have people from all backgrounds. We have people who come in who already have doctorates, who are looking for another doctorates, and people who just come out of high school who are looking to start their education career. We have those who are established, who are already in their field, but looking to take the next step. And we have students who are still unsure of exactly what they want to be, but they know they want a quality education. So we meet the needs of every student. We try to find them where they are, and we fill the needs of the education that they would like.
Can you tell us a little bit about your professors and their qualifications?
We truly have world-class professors, and we have professors from around the world. We have professors who are in the South Pacific to Asia. We have professors in America. We have professors who are in Turks and Caicos, everywhere. All of them have doctorates. All of them are published professors, meaning they are still doing research. They still publish in journals. Many of them are still working in their fields, meaning if you are taking a psychology class, you are probably taking it from someone who is currently seeing psychology patients as a doctor of psychology in their professional life as well.
I'm coming from a traditional college experience. I don't know how online education takes place. Can you describe to me how there's an...
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying. So for the traditional education, we tend to think of students show up in front of a professor, the professor lectures for an hour or so, then they go home and do homework. Now, on an online education, the learning is still taking place. You will still have a professor who is there. The professor will put together lectures that are both recorded, meaning you can watch them and still get that interaction. You can still email them, and they are available 24 hours a day. Typically, professors will respond within a day to any question. Often professors are responding within minutes if you have a question. So it's still very interactive. You'll have discussions in class where the professor will pose a question and the students will answer that question. The professor will come back and ask more questions, much like you would in a class where you will discuss things. You will still have homework, there will still be assignments, but all of those will be online. When it comes to what we call traditional education, it's a hard word to define because what is tradition doesn't always mean it's what people learn best. So what is learning best is coming from interacting with the teacher, and that's what we provide, from being able to have specific learning objectives put in place and know that you're looking at these learning objectives and you're going to meet those at the end of the class. And that's what we reassure students with, is that you know exactly what you're going to learn in class. You can see yourself progress through those learning objectives that you will have, And by the end, you will have this definite knowledge of what you need for that career.
You are making it sound that I really want to go to Charisma University, but now what I have to consider is the costs. So can you tell me about the tuition costs and if there are additional resources that I have to procure in order to become a student at Charisma University?
Oh, you bet. We are, one of our goals with Charisma is to be able to bring quality education to everyone. And one of the things we try to do is keep our costs low because we understand that it's hard to afford an education. So we try not to have any hidden costs. I know one of the biggest costs for me when I went to school was also the books. So what we provide to students is a library where all books for the classes are located already in the online library so that they have those books there. They don't have to go and buy additional books and spend hundreds of dollars every class. On top of that, our tuition is already 20–30% lower than most even community colleges. So we provide a very, very affordable education, both for our bachelor's, master's, and our doctorates.
Do you guys have any assistantship to students who cannot afford to pay, or are there special regions in the world that you serve by providing some kind of financial assistance?
Well, currently we do have some, but it changes often depending on what is happening. So while we already have the lowest tuition costs of any school that I know, especially in the Caribbean region, we try to keep our costs low on all fronts so that everyone can afford it, not just certain people with scholarships or those types of items. We try to make it affordable for all people.
Which type of student would get the best education out of Charisma? What type of student would be a typical Charisma student?
Again, I don't like the term typical because that assumes that we're looking for a specific type and we want all students. So whether you're looking for a doctorate in psychology or an associate's in paralegal studies, we want all students. And we want anyone from whatever background. We try to provide services no matter what walk of life you are coming from. So everyone will benefit from a Charisma education, and not only the students, but their families. There's been research that shows that 2 generations will benefit from a college education. So not only the person who gets it, but their children and their grandchildren will benefit from better lives. So all people can benefit from a Charisma education.
Which ties to Charisma University's mission of providing quality education to everyone in all walks of life. And probably students have questions about graduation rates and what would one do with a Charisma degree? Would I be able to improve my lifestyle, my income? If you could tell me anything about what I would do with a Charisma degree.
Well, what you do with the Charisma degree will also depend on what you want to get out of it. So it depends on whether you're going to be going for a associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate, whether you're already established in your field of study or you're just getting started. But all degrees will benefit. So we will help with the decision process. We will help with the education process. And not only that, but we will help once you are finished to help with services as far as reviewing resumes, looking over job applications, that type of stuff, so that students can have a better chance of getting a better job if that's what they're looking for. But again, we are looking for all walks of life, whether you are just starting out or whether you are already established. So a degree will definitely benefit both the person who is getting the degree and their families.
And as a senior vice president of assessments, I could say in doing assessments, when we compare Charisma University to other universities of comparable status, Charisma University students do more than well compared to other students that I have done the research on. And our students have demonstrated that they perform well on external exams that is not administered by Charisma University, but by an external testing agency called Peregrine Academic Services, which Charisma University employs to monitor and assess how Charisma University is doing against other universities in the Caribbean and outside of the United States. And Charisma University students have shown they are more than capable of understanding concepts in comparison with other universities. So the type of education that you get at Charisma University shows that students graduate at a high, with a rate where they have shown and demonstrated that they have acquired the skills within the programs that they have participated in. Say that I'm interested. Now I'm becoming almost convinced that Charisma University might be the school for me. How do I enroll? Do you have a time period that starts? Can you speak a little bit about the enrollment process?
Oh, you bet. Our classes start every 8 weeks, and there's multiple ways in which you can enroll. You can do it online through charisma.edu.eu. You can email the registrars, or you can call the registrars, and they'll be happy to enroll you in the next available classes. So anytime classes are available to go every 8 weeks, we always have classes running all year round, including summer and including a winter session. Because of that, students are able to finish their degrees much faster than typical schools. So instead of, 4 years for a typical bachelor, students are able to finish in 2.5 to 3 years if they are willing to go year round, because we do have continual education happening.
Say if I have committed and I pay and start the process, but for some reason I would like to withdraw, say I have a family crisis and I can't start this semester, what is your refund policy?
Oh, definitely. We, again, as I said before, we understand that students' lives are complex. We understand that life happens and that some things are out of your control. So we do have a very generous refund policy. The classes are 8 weeks. So during the first week, you can get 100% of your refund. So if you take the class and things just aren't going well and you're not able to complete the work, then you are able to just talk to the registrar or the instructor, and they will be glad to give you 100% refund. In the second week, you can still get the majority of your money. I think it's about 85%, and then it goes down to about 50% still halfway through the class. So you still have 4 weeks to decide, and even within 4 weeks, you can get half the money back. But within the first week, you can still get 100% of your refund for the class.
Okay, both of you have painted a great picture of Charisma University. I'm very interested in joining Charisma University. The mission statement appeals to me, and I am possibly a working student or a student who wants to continue in my professional area, or I'm a mother with children, but I have always had a desire to get a graduate degree, so I'm pursuing my education. So what are the steps that I have to take? So I'm 100% convinced that I want to go to Charisma University. So what is the next thing that I'll do once I finish watching this webinar?
Well, signing up is very easy. You can do it right through our website, as I said before, or you can simply email info@charisma.edu.eu. So don't forget the EU, that stands for European Union. So that's the part that some students forget. So it's info@charisma.edu.eu is one of the easiest ways to do that. And someone will respond to you quickly and help you get enrolled, or you can just do it online.
It seems that classes are constantly filling up, so students are advised to enroll as soon as once they are sure and have made a decision. It is advisable to go to the website and right away register after this webinar and get your education started here with us. We're all looking forward to welcoming you here at Charisma. I will invite the president to make some closing remarks of this webinar, and I look forward to serving each one of you. And thank you. Dr. Sloan?
Sometimes people ask me, what kind of psychic reward do you get from all your work there at Charisma? And I think the happiest time for me is to come to the graduation ceremony and party. It's not required that you attend to get your diploma, but many students do. And it's a thrill to meet people from all over the world whose lives have been changed by their Charisma University experience. These are our best ambassadors, and you can see a lot of their pictures on our website from each year's graduating class. We invite you to join us. Our goal is to help you meet your goals.
Thank you both for your time, and we look forward to seeing our students in each one of our classes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.